Last fall, comedian Dave Chappelle walked onto the Saturday Night Live stage smoking a cigarette. He didn't talk about it, just did it. Chappelle has a reputation for doing things his way. His humor is smart and carefully crafted. So is his smoking on stage simply an addiction or a statement? On Hot 97 in New York, he reveals a moment that brings us closer to the answer.
Cigarette company was doing a promotion. They gave me a pack of cigarettes.
At Metro Center.
I was 14 years old. Ooh. Now, I gotta tell you, I probably looked really young.
He was given cigarettes in Washington, D.C. in the Metro station when he was 14 years old. And he said he went home and he decided he was going to learn how to smoke.
Carol Magruder with the African American Tobacco Leadership Council says Chappelle's experience is disturbing, but valuable in helping us understand big tobacco and how they penetrated communities of color.
This is about multinational tobacco companies preying upon the black community for decades and being the largest killer of black people out of all the other issues that we have.
Magruder wants to make it clear Chappelle didn't just stumble upon a pack of cigarettes. He got caught in the big tobacco web.
And a lot of things we learned about the tobacco industry behavior was from the millions of tobacco industry documents that have been released due to litigation.
Even Chappelle being a child, according to Magruder, was part of the plan.
There's a research paper called Racialized Geography, and it just systematically lays out how they plan to give out free cigarettes in our neighborhood to children as young as 9 years old.
Those documents reveal the secret world of big tobacco, who they target and how. Like this Negro market study conducted by R.J. Reynolds. It observes, quote, Negro women are still imitating the styles and attitudes of white women who are considered more sexy and attractive. This one labels blacks and Hispanics as their most viable target audience, calling them highly desirable. And look at the memo line, the Newport sampling van. That's how they were going to reach them. Another document shows a sampling van idea evolving into the Newport pleasure van, calling them a unique attention-getting sampling device. And that's what they would become.
So they literally had vans that would go into the community, play music, play black music, attract people, and they were just physically giving out free cigarettes.
Free cigarettes that would help create lifelong customers like Chappelle. Advertising was another key plan to reach the black community. This document from 1995 notes that Ebony magazine and its 11 million readers was, quote, Newport's main gateway to the African American consumer market.
Ebony and Jet, as you know, those were the magazines that were very important to us as black people. They were our first magazines. And Newport cigarettes built Ebony and Jet. They were in every single edition.
All of that was legal at the time. It has since been shut down. But big tobacco's influence continues. Millions of dollars have been thrown at campaigns on both sides of the aisle. Even some African American politicians have taken big tobacco money. And that brings us to today's enormously controversial issue of menthol cigarettes.
As a former smoker, I constantly struggle with it. Have I fallen off the wagon sometimes? Yes.
In 2009, President Obama passed what was hoped to be legislation severely restricting cigarette companies from reaching children by banning flavored cigarettes.
What we don't want is kids going down that path in the first place.
The problem is, lawmakers refused to vote for the deal unless menthol, the most popular type of flavored cigarette, was taken off the table. Menthol masks the harshness of smoking. It's more addictive and a perfect gateway for kids. Magruder says 90% of black children who smoke choose menthol, yet lawmakers refused to ban it.
So when President Obama signed the Tobacco Control Act in 2009 and took out all the flavors except for menthol, that was systemic racism, because it was recognized at that time that flavors hooked children. But black children were not protected.
And now, generations of addicted children have turned into millions of unhealthy adults. The price of decades of aggressive marketing and a country that looked the other way.
So in the past 20 years, almost 1 million black people have died from tobacco-induced diseases.
The truth hurts. Even Chappelle gets tired of turning it into a joke.
I can't even tell something true unless it has a punchline behind it.